NOAA estimates that 300,000 whales die every year, not from hunting or pollution, but by being accidentally entangled in fishing gear. That and accidental vessel strikes are the leading causes for injury and death of whales and dolphins across our oceans.
These animals either suffer slow, devastating death, or those lucky enough to disentangle themselves deal with long-term effects, such as being less likely to reproduce or have restricted movement.
But there's one possible solution. It's called on-demand fishing, also known as ropeless fishing, a groundbreaking innovation that removes those lines from the water column altogether.
Today we're at Whale and Dolphin Conservation to learn how this technology works, what it means for marine life, and how real change can happen when conservation, industry, and consumers work together.
So there's lots of reasons I think that it's important to protect whales and dolphins. To me, the coolest aspect of the work that we do and why it's important is the role that they play in the ecosystem. Marine mammals and large whales in particular have this incredibly cool role of being the ocean's gardener. And so they will literally help to fertilize phytoplankton that gives you at least half, if not more, of the oxygen that you breathe. It sustains fish stocks. It helps to mitigate climate change. And so whales really help to do that, and even across latitudes. And so whether you like whales or not, you need them.
When whales dive down deep into the ocean, then return to the surface, they bring up nutrient-rich cold water to the surface, and along with nutrient-rich poop. So it's bringing things from the depths up to the surface, and those things are nutrients that allow phytoplankton to thrive. And just like Regina said, phytoplankton is extremely important. It is the base of the entire ocean's food chain. That process is called the whale pump.
And WDC was kind enough to get us out on the water to see these crucial creatures in their natural habitat.
The only main things we saw today were white-sided dolphins. We saw a giant pod of them, which was really cool. A lot of them were jumping out of the water. That's how we were able to tell what species they were. And then we saw some minke whales, and we actually saw one of them do something that's very uncommon for them to do, is they brought their tail out, and he actually tail flapped on the water. You only ever see just a little small of their back. But this one actually kind of gave us a show today, which was pretty cool to see.
One of the biggest accidental impacts to large whales, North Atlantic right whales and humpbacks in particular, but we see it with minkies and fin whales and other whales that we see, are these accidental entanglements in fishing gear. And so the whales are really busy, they're not paying attention, they bump into rope, and when they bump into that rope that's marking where fishing gear is on the bottom, that rope at the surface tells the fisherman, hey, there's gear here. They bump into it, they panic, and they roll into it and then become entangled, and those entanglements are deadly. So on average, it takes a whale about 6 months to die from an entanglement. It will result in an infection, starvation, cuts into their bone. It's a really horrible, painful way to die, and no fisherman on the planet is doing it on purpose. It's just really an unhappy accident that occurs. I have a federally appointed seat on what's called the Atlantic Large Whale Take Reduction Team, and that's a stakeholder group that the government puts together to try and get people to come to work together, fishermen, conservationists, scientists, and government managers, to try and fix problems. And so this one is trying to figure out how do you fix the problem with entanglement. So the way that the government would typically try and reduce entanglements, especially to endangered species, would be to close an area. And that has an impact on fishing communities. I live in a fishing community that has an impact on people's livelihoods, but if you allow fishing there, then you're gonna risk a species going extinct. So how do you fix it?
My name is Rob Martin. I've been a commercial fisherman now this is year 45. So I started out, that's all I ever wanted to do. But I also work as a contractor at NOAA as a gear guy. We were faced with a closure. There was 6 proposed areas to be closed back in 2013, and it was just over 3,000 square nautical miles. So when that happened, it affected a bunch of guys.
The Massachusetts government started these closures because of the effects that fishing cages had on whale populations. But after years of collaboration between fishermen, conservationists, and engineers, they offered a solution: ropeless fishing. With traditional lobster and crab fishing, there is a rope that connects the cage at the bottom of the water with a buoy at the surface that serves as a visual for the fishermen to find the cage. Along the east coast of North America, there are approximately 1 million vertical lines in the water, and yes, all of these lines are still in the water during whale migration seasons. Every single year, 25% of North Atlantic right whales are entangled. With their already low population of only around 400, these entanglements are detrimental to their species. Ropeless fishing is, instead of having a vertical line, there is a sensor on the trap that allows you to see where your trap is at all time on a mobile device. They also have a mechanism to bring the trap to the surface.
It's been an interesting concept for a long time, but I would say within the last 10 years, it's gone from concept to literal functioning in fisheries.
I say this is basically a on-demand system that WDC has. I can go anywhere that I have coverage and I can see my gear where it's all set. Boom, here we are. It just showed up. Now that's in real time. I know that's us, the little red triangle right here at WDC. And that red dot, I know that's the gear that's here right now.
And when Rob is ready to get his trap from underwater, all he has to do is make a few taps on his phone, and the bag connected to the trap will fill with air, bringing his trap to the surface.
So this is tilts up, it's coming to the surface. This will come up on the screen. I want to just finish, and I'm done. So now we're ready to set the gear back again. I'll see this bobbling on the surface. So once at the surface, we get it, and we just start. I'll deflate it, put in the hauler, and it's on the boat. My crew will just deflate the bag. Like I said, this is a very small bag. The ones in offshore, Area 3, they're probably 6 to 8 foot bags because they're in a couple hundred, 200, 250 fathoms. And you need a lot of lift and buoyancy and actually to be able to see the gear. So this is already came in my hauler, it's on deck, and we're hauling as normal. Once you're doing it, it's like second nature anyway. So, but just like the support from everybody to get guys to do this, it's been really, really cool.
We just published a paper in February to talk about the first 3 years of success of the project. So around 2019-20 started with this. It's over a 90% success rate in having it work. We're about to submit another paper with our collaborators that will document that there's been over 1 million pounds of lobster and crabs harvested in the US and Canada using this kind of fishing gear. So it's going to market and it's working, and it means that fishing can happen, fishing communities can thrive, and whales can thrive. And it's just, there's not a whole lot of things I think in my career where there's been a win-win, and this is a win-win.
Like I said, when you put everybody, a fisherman, conservation, scientist, an engineer, even a policy all together, you get a lot done. Instead of going your separate ways, and you get to learn about what they do, they learn more what you do, and you just work together to get things done. Why does fishing sustainably matter to me? What are you doing today that's going to affect not 7 years, 7 months, 7 weeks, but 7 generations out? What are you doing now that's going to affect 7 generations out?
Entanglement is silent, and it doesn't usually make headlines, but it is a constant daily threat in our oceans. We've seen what WDC is doing to stop it, and it's working.
On-demand gear uses acoustic signals to lift traps without buoy lines. It's already reducing risk, and with the right support, it could become the new global standard.
We don't have to choose between conservation and fishing. On-demand gear proves we can protect marine life and support the communities that depend on the ocean.
The ocean doesn't belong to any of us, but its survival depends on all of us. From what we learned today, it's clear. Innovation can save lives if we choose to support it. A healthy planet needs healthy oceans. A healthy ocean needs whales. Save the whales, save the world.
Thank you guys so much for watching Alveus Adventures, and thank you to WDC North America for having us out here. If you guys are able to donate to WDC, that would be incredible. Their links are in the description below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.